Hey everybody, welcome to episode number 9 of the Disc Golf Examiner podcast. I'm Jeff and I'm joined with Brian tonight.
Hey Jeff, how you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. We've had some great episodes lately and we have another great one planned for you tonight. We have two guests. We have, first up tonight, we have Jeff Showers, who's in his 4th year of hosting the Indoor Disc Golf Experience. It's an event in Wisconsin. It benefits the troops, helps the troops play disc golf while they're deployed. We also have Patrick, who's the president of the PFDS, which is the Pittsburgh Flying Disc Society. So we're going to hear about what's going on with the group. We're going to hear about their national tour stop that they have coming up in 2017. What else is new, Brian?
Yeah, Jeff, guess what? I was just checking out iTunes, and I noticed we got a new review this past week.
Oh, no way. That's sweet.
5 stars. It says, awesome podcast. Let me read this to you. I'm always looking for new ways to talk and hear about disc golf, and these guys just happen to be fairly local. It's great hearing about the courses in Pittsburgh, the local people, and local tournaments. I'm just south of the border in West Virginia and make a lot of trips up for tournaments. Great interviews. He goes on to mention some of our interviews. Keep up the great work, and I look forward to hearing about more introductions like wrestlers and comedians. Well, thanks so much. That's from Painful13. I want to say thanks so much for that. That was a really nice review.
We appreciate it. We've been getting reviews and 5-star ratings on iTunes. If you do like the show, if you are listening, that's all we're asking. If you could just leave us a review or even share this with a friend, we would love if you could share our show with them. Thank you so much. Thanks for everybody who's been sharing and liking our content on Facebook.
Yeah, guys, that means so much to us, and that's really the reason we're doing this right now. So thanks so much.
All right, well, let's get right into our first interview. We had Jeff Showers. He's hosting an event called the Indoor Disc Golf Experience. It's in its 4th year. It's for a great charity. Let's just get right into it. You're really going to want to hear about this one. Hey, everybody. Welcome. We are joined here today with Jeff Showers and Brian, obviously from Disc Golf Examiner. Jeff, how's it going today?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well. We have Jeff on the show because he's got a pretty interesting event coming up. It's on January 20th. It's going to take place in Wisconsin. We're going to get to that. But as you know, if you've been listening to this show, one of the things we always like to do is start with at the beginning. We always want to know, how did you get started playing disc golf, Jeff?
Oddly enough, it started with golf as a kid. So I was about the age of 12. I used to ride my bike up to what was called Dretzka Park. All I did was just putt. And all of a sudden I saw these baskets being put in my neighborhood. And I'm like, what the heck are these things? So some buddies of mine, obviously at the age of 12, throwing some aerobies around, constantly getting those things stuck in a tree, climbed a lot of trees. And then finally one of the regular guys that were on the course said, hey, here's a regular disc I see out here all the time. I'll just give you one of mine. I was like, great. Ever since that day, I was absolutely hooked. For me, going out and playing disc golf was always just having fun with the buddies. And that's when it started back in 92 at Dretzka Park, just playing with some buddies and playing with an old aerobie.
Oh, wow. So you've been playing disc golf for a long time and you're very passionate about it. And this idea for the event, which we'll name it here, it's the Indoor Disc Golf Experience. How long ago was that first created?
4 years ago was our first event. We did it actually at a dome. We set up like a little putting challenge. And then we even had targets set up like on a net that they could shoot at for points. The next year we thought, man, like we can get more unique than this. And I thought, there's got to be some other areas around here. And I had no idea this place even existed. I Googled indoor soccer fields, and I ended up finding the Uline Sport Complex. And they have 3 indoor soccer fields, or half-size soccer fields. And we actually use all 3 fields and all the space in between and behind the fields. And actually, there's another really, really cool shot that's like up on the balcony that shoots down the narrow between the 2 fields. And then you got 2 baskets. We actually have hole number 1, and then we go around, and I think we come back to hole number 9 or 10. However, we're going to set it up this year. So it's quite a unique setup.
When you first go into a space like that, wide open soccer fields, what are some of the things that you look for in trying to lay out a course, and are you changing the courses every year?
Yeah, we've changed the course every year. There's a few holes that are pretty iconic when you come in there, like that balcony shot that we've used every year. If you were there and you saw that, you're like, look, as a disc golfer, you have to shoot down this aisle. It's just too cool of a shot to take away every year. We've had some other cool, unique things that we've added to it. We've had actually like a hanging basket where it'd be swinging. So we actually had a volunteer. We're luckily enough every year we've had a volunteer for 3-4 hours pulling that basket swinging. So we've even had what we call the chandelier basket, where we had it hanging up in the air. We put some lights on it. One of the disc golfers ended up calling it one of the chandelier holes, and it just kind of stuck ever since. So,
are you adding any like boxes, or are you stacking things, or pallets? Are you bringing things onto the field, or making the?
Yeah, the way I look at this event, think of like mini golf, and this is disc golf's version of mini golf. We actually had MSOE come out, and they helped us. They set up a huge, like, miniature hot air balloon. And actually, we got Topper's Pizza. I don't know if you guys have Topper's Pizza out there or not, but they're actually setting up this huge blow-up crown for us. So it's going to be some different but unique things that we're setting up every year. We even set up like little cardboard standees, so you have to shoot around some standees too.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was.
It's different, unique.
Yeah, because there's no trees and there's no fences, so you're adding the challenge to the course when you're setting it up.
Yep, absolutely. In fact, Ace Time this last year, they're one of our local disc golf sellers here in the Milwaukee area in South Milwaukee. He actually set up this huge cardboard. I wouldn't say cardboard, actually a wooden cutout of like a ace with a big circle on it with the basket behind it. So that was a new obstacle that they added last year. So each year it keeps evolving and growing, and we keep adding new things. So yeah, we keep the disc golfers that come to our event surprised every year.
Do you have any sponsors for the event? Do you gather sponsors somehow?
Yes. Every year we have sponsors somewhere. In fact, I wrote this down because I had a feeling this question might arise. MSOE, which was a huge sponsor of ours. Ace Time, which I just mentioned. Darren Ferguson has helped us out. In fact, the whole event is for Operation Disc Golf Plastic Deployment. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. In fact, Don Smith, if you guys are familiar with Don Smith, he runs that. He kind of like started that charity. So essentially they have to bring a $5 for donation or a disc to the event. Those discs then we ship out to all the troops, and then those troops get something to play while they're overseas. So that's kind of our thank you and our contribute to the troops during this event. Other sponsors we've had is Pandemonium. They've come out and they've actually vended there. Riverside. If you guys are familiar with the disc golf guy, he actually showed last year, Terry Miller. He was there. In fact, he was the first guy that me and him went to the Dome, and we looked at the first location, and he actually kind of helped me talk to the original setup, the owner of that facility. So yeah, Terry Miller actually helped me in the very, 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 very beginning of this, getting this going. iFling Plastic, Disc by Moose, Disc Gone Ladies League, or also known as the Dolls. We've had many other sponsors and vendors. But those were probably the main ones that really helped us out. Sorry if I'm forgetting anybody. So
it's really a great cause. Have you ever received feedback from anybody who's been deployed and received a package?
Oh yeah, definitely. We've gotten pictures and letters and email. It's great. Yeah, definitely. So it's really satisfying when you do see that. So the biggest thing is if anybody on here is listening, if they the biggest thing that Operation Disc Golf plastic deployment needs right now is baskets more than they need disc. Those troops need something, they need a target to shoot at. So they're getting plenty of plastic sent out to them. I mean, we still need plastic. We still need to send that out. But, baskets are probably the hardest thing to come by and get those shipped out to them. So,
are there any restrictions on the types of baskets or size of baskets you can get to the troops?
Usually the foldable baskets, any of those. Yeah, not the big metal ones. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, just one of those ones would work the best, especially shipping, and then for them to be able to store them while they're deployed, like a DGA. DGA has a one that folds almost into a tube.
Any of those foldable baskets, honestly, just it's easier for shipping overseas.
Yeah, it's a DGA Mach Light was the one I was thinking of. That folds almost into like a duffel bag, which I was thinking might be very nice if you're limited in space where you're deployed at.
My question, while we're on the subject of baskets, what baskets do you use for the event that you put on?
Honestly, anything we can get our hands on. But there is one particular basket, and I cannot remember the name of it. And one of the guys that sponsors us from Toppers, he brings that every year. It's one of the more narrow baskets. And we use that for like one of the shorter shots, and it's like super skinny. If any of you guys know what that is, please, message me, or if you guys know what it is too.
Probably, I don't know if it might be the marksman basket that
Yes, it is. Yes, that is it. So we have like a 10-foot like little mini shot, so that's the one, just to make it a little bit more challenging. So.
Oh yeah, those baskets definitely make it a challenge for sure.
So the event is going to be on January 20th, 2017. It's at the Brookfield Indoor Soccer Complex. That's in Brookfield, Wisconsin. Jeff, if anybody wants to register, is registration open?
Yes, it is. It's on the disc golf scene. So just go to the disc golf scene and just look up the indoor disc golf experience for 2017 for January 20th. I'm actually working with Mike Harrington with the disc golf experience. So me and him will be running this event this year. So just check that out on the disc golf scene.
How many people do you usually get each year to register?
Well, I'll tell you, the first year we did this, we had no idea what to expect. In fact, we'd even take pre-registrations. We just did it as a show up. It was 83 people that showed up the first year, and oh wow, that was a shocker to me.
Yeah,
I thought maybe we'll get 40. I was like, I'll be happy if we get 50, but I was like, I bet we'll be only 40. It doubled that. The following year, it was 120. Last year, we had 150 to 160, so we had to actually group up to 6 people to a group, and nobody complained. Everybody had a blast. In fact, because it's not like a PDGA event, and normally you're 4 groups, we actually have a band there too. So you get to listen to a band, get some beer, because they have beer concession. So you get to drink some beer, throw some disc, get some small targets, and have a good time discing indoors. So yeah, it's a great time. It's awesome to put this event on to just see so many smiling faces. So.
Yeah, that's really impressive. Quite a turnout, and everyone knows it's for a great cause. And it's hard to have a bad time when you're throwing discs indoors. You're going to grab a beer and some nachos, and so it starts at 10 a.m. Central Time, and you're going to play.
No, it's actually 10 p.m.
10
p.m. Yeah,
Ooh.
Yeah. So 10 p.m. A lot of people that see that for the first time are like, "Holy crap, you guys are shooting that late at night? Like, really?" And another reason why we didn't think we were going to get a huge turnout in the years past, because obviously the time, but I mean, we're there till like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning shooting, and you'd be surprised how many people don't care about the time. So, yeah.
So after the round ends, if you want to stick around and play some other shots, you're welcome to do so.
Yeah, usually we have enough time that you can actually get in a second round. So we even do like a, what do you call it, a ring of fire. So we do a ring of fire with the guys too for prizes.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's really amazing. I obviously we're in Pittsburgh here. We're a little outside of Wisconsin, and I just came across this on Facebook, and I was just blown away by the event, the structure, and the charity that you're playing and you're putting this all together for. And I'm so glad you're able to join us tonight on the show.
Glad to be on your show. So I appreciate your time. So thank you.
So thank you, Jeff, again for joining us. If you're out there and you're interested in playing, you can register at the discgolfscene.com women's, juniors, and general registration set up so far. It's $25. It starts at 10 p.m. at the Brookfield Indoor Soccer Complex. It sounds like a great time. This is the 4th year.
Don't forget, it's either a $5 donation for the troops or a disc donation, so we can send that out.
Absolutely. Thanks again, Jeff. We really appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Oh, we're back from that interview with Jeff Showers of the Indoor Disc Golf Experience. It's in its 4th year. It's at the Brookfield Indoor Soccer Complex. So if you're in Wisconsin and you're interested in throwing some discs in the middle of January, it's on January 20th. It's a Friday night, 10 p.m. start. He says they go to 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. They have a concession stand. You can get some beers and some nachos and just have a good time for a great cause.
That's right. It's going to be the only place in Wisconsin at 10 p.m. on January 20th that you can play without a jacket on. I guarantee it. Actually, for our second interview tonight, we were able to interview the president of the Pittsburgh Flying Disc Society, Pat Graziani. And Pat sat down with us to talk about upcoming events for the Pittsburgh area, as well as how he himself got his start in the sport. You're not going to want to miss this because he's talking about the Pittsburgh Flying Disc Open for next year, 2017. All right, so Jeff, do you just want to roll right into it?
Rollin'. Rollin'.
Hi-ho, Silver.
Bam.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back. This is Brian here with Jeff, and we're also with Pittsburgh Flying Disc Society President Pat Graziani. Pat, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm so glad we got to get you on this week. I'm really excited to be able to ask you some questions today. And we do like to start these things off at the beginning. So the big question is that we always start off with is, how did you get your start in disc golf, and when did you get your start in disc golf?
I started playing in 2008. I was a real avid golfer, and I was just kind of looking for a cheaper hobby. My buddy and I went fishing, actually, and fishing sucks. And we were loading our stuff back into his car, and I saw some discs in his trunk, and I asked him about them. And it was a beautiful day, and he took me out to Nob Hill, played my first round, instantly hooked. Went out to Dick's the next day, bought a couple starter type discs, a DX Beast and a DX Shark. Got my cousin Alex playing, and that's it. Started playing from there.
You mentioned you bought your Beast and your Shark at Dick's after you played the first time you played. How long was it between when you started playing and when you found out about the PFDS? How long were you playing before you joined the club?
It took me a little bit. I think I first went to a league in, I want to say 2010 was the first time I showed up to a league, and it was Tuesday night doubles at Nob Hill, and I was just instantly hooked to it. I loved the camaraderie of the players and just getting out and getting to be a little bit competitive. Like, I was only 2 years into playing. I wasn't a great player, but you got to go out to doubles, maybe get hooked up with a really good player. Maybe not, but at least you got to see what good players were doing and how they were managing the course and what kind of shots they were throwing.
Was Nob Hill your closest course, or was that something that you had to travel for?
No, I grew up pretty close to Nob Hill. It's about 15 minutes from where I grew up, so that was my home course, and it's still about that distance from me. Still my home course, yeah. Moraine being next on the list, I suppose, but I live conveniently between most of the Pittsburgh courses.
That's pretty awesome. That's very convenient. You've been playing since 2008. Has that course has it changed much in that time?
Yeah, it has over the years. The rough has thinned out a little bit from, club maintenance and just people who care about the course. There's been concrete tee pads added to the blue tees in the past year. Updated tee signs last year for the World Championships. Updated baskets last year. So yeah, I mean, for anyone listening out of town, host a World Championships and you get all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah, there was a ton of improvements done to that course. I think we even got new baskets. Isn't that right?
Yeah, brand new Prodigy. I believe they're called T1s. I mean, all our courses got updated baskets. So,
Mhm. By the way, we always, whenever we're doing tournaments and stuff, we always see those baskets causing some trouble for people putting. What do you feel about those baskets?
I really like them personally. I think if you hit them in the center, they catch. And yeah, they're a bit unforgiving on the outsides, but I think if you hit them dead center, they're not going to spit you out.
Right. Well, very cool. Now, you basically said a piece there about club maintenance. With the Pittsburgh Flying Disc Society and you being the president of it, what type of improvements do you see the club making to the local courses?
Oh, I mean, just recently, I know a few club members. I don't want to leave anybody out, but I know Eric Nichols and Brian Schweitzer and J. Gary Dropko specifically added a updated A-pin on hole 13 at Deer Lakes. And if you haven't seen it yet, it's pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It gives that hole another viable pin for tournament play or for just a nice change up during normal casual play. I believe today Jay Gary was out at Limbrook installing T signs, which that course desperately needs.
Wow, yeah.
So that course is beginning to take a little more shape and continue to evolve. Over the weekend, we fixed an anchor at Nob Hill on 17A pin. We had PVC in the anchor to keep it from getting filled, and a mower hit it and snapped it off underground. So we had to dig that up, and we just ended up replacing the pin with a new one and have the old one in case we need it. But
so it's really awesome to have a club available in the community like the Pittsburgh Flying Disc Society that is going to be providing maintenance and improving upon the local courses. And basically, being the club president, why should somebody join a club?
Well, I mean, the local club is really the local parks departments. They do what they can, but beyond them, the club is the next step on how these courses get, and really the first step on how they get put in the ground, how they get maintained, how they get upgraded, how they get people playing them and show the parks that they're worthy assets to have in them. And that's really what makes a club worthwhile, is just being able to go out and show these parks what disc golf is about and how we as a community are willing to go out and upkeep the courses to the best of our abilities. You know, it's nice when they cut the grass and stuff, but we take care of the tree trimming, the anchors, the baskets, T-pad installation was us up at Moraine. I mean, it brings the community together in a better way.
Absolutely. And whenever you join a club like the Pittsburgh Flying Disc Society, don't you also get discounts to the PDGA membership?
For us, being an affiliate club of the PDGA, you do get a discount. You get $5 off, I believe, from your PDGA membership every year. You also, with the Pittsburgh Flying Disc Society, you get $5 off of any of our tournaments that we run. It's a $15 yearly membership, $100 lifetime membership. So if you're going to play 20 tournaments in the area in your lifetime, might as well join up, and it'll pay itself off just like a PDGA membership does with the discount.
Yeah, it was amazing to have Worlds here in 2015. And, the next big thing, from what I'm noticing, is that the Pittsburgh Flying Disc Open is going to be a national tournament next year in 2017. So I was curious if you had any information on that, anything, news worthy?
The 2017 PFDO is officially presented by Discraft. They are our title sponsor. They stepped up and hooked it up for us. We got our title sponsor in place. The dates of the event are August 25th through the 27th at Moraine State Park. It's a little different for us this year. We're only doing 3 rounds, and they will be with tee times. That's a little change from the previous years with 4 rounds, shotgun starts, only 2 days instead of 3. It should be interesting to see how it all plays out.
Yeah, absolutely. I know I'm really excited to see what transpires here for that weekend. See who comes to town. It should be a lot of people, right?
Well, we got on a great part of the tour schedule, I think. The weekend before us, the Disc Golf Pro Tour is at Idlewild outside of Cincinnati, and the weekend after us, they're in Maple Hill outside of Boston. You kind of have to drive through Pittsburgh to get from Cincy to Boston. So hopefully everybody stops by and plays a great event.
Yeah, absolutely. We really are excited to see who comes through for that weekend.
I know the only person I know is really excited right now is Eagle McMahon. He loves Moraine.
Nice, yeah.
He told us he's pumped to come back.
Awesome. I got to meet him for just a brief minute at Worlds, and I'll tell you what, he is an incredible talent. I'm really excited to see what's going to happen with him. Yeah.
What's the next event coming up for the PFDS?
The Ice Bowl will be our next event. Mark Prestopnik just announced it today, and it'll be on Sunday, February 19th at North Strabane Park out near Washington.
Ooh, I really like that park.
What's that, Brian?
I really like that park. That's
a fun little course.
Yeah, short, technical. Did they do anything on the back nine by chance?
As far as tee pads or anything, they're still natural.
Okay.
I know that there's plans for it. I'm not 100% sure with the timetable. I know that the park itself is still working out the maintenance on that back nine.
Okay.
Being that it's a bit more rough than the front. The front's out in the park where it's more just mowing the grass, and the back's a little wooded and quite hilly.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's I'm really interested in seeing what happens with that park, because that back nine could be very interesting here in a few years once it gets worked out.
Oh yeah, that back nine's really challenging and fun. Yeah, that's our next event. We're gonna have an indoor putting league this winter starting up, I believe, December 14th, if that's a Sunday. It's the second Sunday in December, I know that much. And that's at Rivertown Brewing out in Export. And I believe it's going to start around 1 o'clock, and we're just going to drink beer and watch football and throw discs in the nice warm brew pub.
Man, that sounds amazing. I'm probably going to have to join you guys.
That should be super fun. It's a great venue, and they're super supportive of it, and they basically gave us free reign of wherever we want to use inside that facility. So,
wow, it's a brewery too, so it's got to be pretty large, right?
Yeah, the pub portion isn't a very big area. It's big enough, but then they said we could use the actual brewery area too, since they don't brew on Sundays. So we can go back in there, but it's not heated back there. It all kind of depends on how warm we feel like being.
Well, hey, enough beers and you'll feel warm enough.
Absolutely.
Anything else big coming up for the PFDS?
One of our youngest members, Jacob Johnston, he's running his first sanctioned event on March 18th at Nob Hill. It's called the Shamrock Shootout. Should be a great event. I'm co-TDing with him to help him learn the ropes, and it should be a lot of fun. Keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, absolutely. I was actually, we talked a little bit about it, so we might have to have Jacob on the podcast. He was the young man who interviewed Brad Schick for us at the Indiana Open. I think, Jacob's 15 years old?
I think he's 16. I think I saw him and his brother driving a car the other day. And I don't know about all that.
Well, we'll just say that he's 16. That's good enough. But that's really cool that you're helping him out with that. And
it's great to see somebody that young want to step up into a leadership role like that so quickly. I didn't run my first event until I played events for like 5 years.
Yeah, it's really good. And, hey, if a 16-year-old can do it, guys, I think you can. So if you ever wanted to run an event, feel free to, we're going to talk to Jacob about that. And, you can see what it's like for a first time TD to run an event. So look forward to that at some point. Anything else we want to mention?
Our next board meeting is December 8th. The location is not determined yet, but it'll be an open meeting to all club members. And so just keep an eye out on the Facebook page for more information.
Absolutely. And if somebody needed to get in contact with you, would they just contact you through the Pittsburgh Flying Disc Society Facebook page or where?
Either that, or they could email me at grazianipatrick44@gmail.com. It's probably, nobody's going to know how to spell my last name, so that doesn't matter. But yeah, the PFDS Facebook page would be a great start.
Awesome.
So if you have a club in your local area, you should definitely check it out. You can probably find it just from Facebook. If you are in Pittsburgh, it's the pfds.org. You can find all kinds of information about the Pittsburgh Flying Disc Society. You can find out how to register, become a member. You can find local events and a ton of other information on there.
Pat, thanks so much for joining us tonight. It was a real pleasure to be able to talk with you, and hopefully we can get you on again in a few months here, and we can get an update on what's going on with the Pittsburgh Flying Disc Society.
Yeah, thanks guys for having me on. I enjoy the show. Keep up the good work.
All right, we're back with the interview from Patrick of the PFDS. He's the president right now, and he's talked about the importance of a local club and the maintenance that the club provides above and beyond what the parks and county can provide to, of course, some of the designs and improvements. That's all handled by your local club. So whether or not you're in Pittsburgh, if you are, come join us, the PFDS.org, pfds.org. You can join. You get some benefits. You get some discounts, even a discount because they are an affiliate with the PDGA. You get a discount on your membership there. But if you're not in Pittsburgh, chances are there's a club in your town or neighborhood. Look them up. See what you can do to contribute. See what you can do to join. It's very important. The club is vital to your local disc golf scene. So make sure you're supporting them and doing everything you can in your community.
Yeah, and absolutely. The club is the best way to spread disc golf in the community. And we're really excited and happy to have the Pittsburgh Flying Disc Society with us here in Pittsburgh to help out maintaining courses and really doing all the fantastic work that they do throughout the year. And, hey, if you want to contribute, definitely check out a local club and, hey, make some friends while you're at it. Why not?
Oh, you want to send it home? I think let's put a bow on this one.
Hey guys, thanks so much for listening to the Disc Golf Examiner podcast. Remember to like, review, and subscribe to us on iTunes, YouTube, and Facebook. We would really appreciate it. Every review matters to us. Maybe we'll be able to even read your review on the podcast. So please make sure you go out and do that. We really appreciate it. And remember to keep banging those chains, guys. Have a great day.
Y'all gonna make me bang them chains up in here, up in here.